Ready? 5.96 million recorded deaths of COVID, with excess and unreported deaths reaching up to 20 million. How does it feel to be alive being so high up in the list of most deaths of a disease since the beginning of time?
We get it. It's 2022 and the world is still shitty.
It gets shittier.
991 homes burnt down in the Boulder County fire. 17 people are killed because of a fire in a 19-story apartment building in the Bronx. 12 in Philadelphia, 6 in a nursing home in Spain. They got way too lit and 16 died in a nightclub in Cameroon and 18 in Indonesia. 12 people killed in a stampede in a temple during New Year in India. 29 in Liberia, also in a holy place. 21 dead in a snowstorm in Pakistan. At least 20 dead in a tropical storm in Madagascar. 22 dead due to landslides in Ecuador and 14 in Colombia. 117 dead in Brazil because of mudslides and flooding. Speaking of floods, a lot of people died and thousands left homeless because of floods in Iran, South Africa, Brazil, Haiti, and Madagascar. There was also a tsunami in Tonga, earthquake in China, Japan, Indonesia, and Afghanistan. A power cable collapses and kills 26 people in Congo. 20 people OD'd and 74 in the hospital because they tripped on cocaine laced with poison in Argentina. Austria legalizes assisted suicide for people over the age of 18. Over 200 people were killed by bandits in Nigeria. Bird flu is back in fashion. Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock during the Oscars.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
Koalas are now goddamn endangered. Child marriage is just now illegal in Philippines. Who knew that marrying kids too dumb for their own good is wrong? Mass shooting in the US everywhere? But here's something not that common.
They say he was riding a bike around town. In his backpack, he had a large knife.
Explosions in China, Canada, Ghana, France, and Burkina Faso being the biggest one with 63 dead. Protests in Hong Kong,
Free Hong Kong!
Guadeloupe, Kazakhstan, Canada, Bulgaria, Nepal, and Sweden. Government websites got hacked in Ukraine due to a cyber attack. Terrorist attack in Abu Dhabi, Pakistan, and a few other places. Nations sprinkled with airstrikes and bombs serving as the cherry on top. Kids dead in Nigeria due to said sprinkles. And get this, the army reported that the airstrike was the result of a mistake on the border. They pulled an oopsie and children had to pay the price for it. You don't just get to Britney Spears yourselves out of this shit. There was a suicide bomber that offed himself in a restaurant in Somalia and 14 people got blown to bits. Some guy had the same idea and did the same thing in a mosque in Pakistan. Man. Pakistan just can't catch a break, can they? There's still civil wars and social unrest in Syria, Yemen, Somalia, Kivu, Ethiopia, Mali, Sudan, Turkey, Israel, and many more involving guns, bombs, and explosions. The whole fucking shebang. Trails of destruction, innocent lives affected, and roads paved with the dead. And finally, we got to the biggest thing right now.
Russia, you can't take my room! Hey! Stop!
I think I'm just gonna take it.
Russia, you know there's a way we settle things like this.
You don't mean...
Uh-huh.
All of this shit happened this year, and it's only fucking April. Yeah. All of this was still happening despite the world's economy collapsing due to the pandemic. Millions dead, poverty and unemployment rates the highest it's ever been, and government scrambling to get things done. All that, it wasn't enough. Now they're out here trying to start World War III. I've been binging on war movies for a couple of weeks, and damn, let me tell you, I feel so lucky and grateful I live in a time and place where I make YouTube videos instead of running away from bombs falling out of the sky and military ready to shoot anything that moves. The one movie that made me feel like complete shit is Grave of the Fireflies. If you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor and watch it. Imagine your whole town is being bombed. No victory in sight. Your entire family is dead. Everything you ever worked for and lived for, all of it burning in a pile of ash. That includes your dog. Everything and anything that ever made you happy, all gone, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna get better anytime soon. I've asked people time and time again, if World War III happens, or if there was an apocalypse, what would you do? And they usually say they want to die fast, quick and easy. They said there's nothing much to live for. Like, bro, I can't accept that people want to tap out so easily. That includes me. So I did what any normal person my age would do. Think about it again and again. Losing sleep as the thought kept creeping into my mind, infecting my will to live. It got me thinking, what is there to actually live for? Is it the comfort? The luxuries? Wi-Fi? Netflix? Considering the complete decimation of all those things, what else is there? It seems like the survival instinct instilled in human beings becomes more and more diluted every generation. Why is it that now, when we have so much more to lose in our life, we aren't fighting for it as much as they did 100 years ago? As the quality of life increases, the value of it goes down. The suicide rate is the highest it's ever been, more so when the Rona hit. If World War III happens, guess what's gonna happen? There will always be war, there will always be conflict. Separation in size have always been a thing, ever since we were kids. Apple versus Android, Xbox Xbox versus PlayStation, Nikon versus Canon, Marvel versus DC. I mean, there are a bunch of guys with their underwear on the outside. It ain't that serious, bro. I'm a huge Spidey fan, so chill the fuck out. What if we never had conflict? There would be no resolution. There wouldn't be a Lamborghini if Enzo Ferrari didn't disrespect the fuck out of Ferruccio Lamborghini in the first place. It was a physical embodiment of
fuck you, I can do better.
Conflict builds resolutions. It births innovation. Are they better? We never know. Kinda like why most people want to date someone who's toxic and has that crackhead energy, rather than that sweet and simple and kind guy that you just friend zone, because that gets kind of boring after a while.
But what if I'm not like other girls? I actually like dating sweet and kind guys.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need millions of people to die just to prove a point. But we're humans. We're dumb. We do stupid shit. We make horrible decisions. Sometimes people will never learn, and history repeats itself. I think war isn't good for obvious reasons, but I do think that war played a part in the world. Horrible events needed to happen before, because there was a lot to learn from them to try and prevent events in the future. How's that going so far? You needed to date that asshole to know you don't want that asshole. If you still want it despite that you know it's gonna be bad, congratulations. You're a dumbass. War is a tool of change. The Second World War was and still is important because of its outcome. It dictated how war is conducted today, and it led to the sphere of war that culminated in the decades-long Cold War. People had to change themselves or other things to do war better. So much technological advancements happened because of war. The first submarine was called the Turtle, and it was made by the Americans during the American War of Independence. M&Ms were made for war. Those are the changes brought about by war, but for war. Freedom is kinda cool, but man, did you ever try M&Ms?
They're bussin'.
Unfortunately for humankind, war is the ultimate motivator for technological advancement. Nothing makes a dude work harder like the threat of complete annihilation. Clean nuclear energy was a result of World War II. Air traffic control is because of the First World War. Sanitary napkins made for periods was also because of war. Nurses noticed how cellulose was more effective in absorbing blood rather than cloth bandages. Some genius saw this and thought, you know what else this could be good for? Vaginas. Duct tape, jet engines, radar, and sonar are also products of war. War played a part because it forced people to innovate for good or bad. I mean, yeah, that sounds kinda stupid, but it's true. Society would not be at the level it is today if we didn't have war. But what the hell do we get out of the wars happening all around the world right now? Increased gas prices? Inflation on everything? My Big Mac costs almost twice than it used to be. The people on both sides of the conflicting countries don't even want to be a part of the war. They don't want no part of this shit. Society is not in the best shape it's in right now, but definitely better than any of the generation before. It's relatively the safest it's ever been. People have voices now. People fight their oppressive regimen. Countries have much more support now. It seems like the pros outweigh the cons. Back then, people invented so much that helped and changed the world, all while trying not to die from all the bombs that kept dropping from the skies. What about us? What makes us want to go on when the shit hits the fan? What can we do to change things? Maybe not the world, but at least something. Don't we owe it to ourselves to see things through? What's the light at the end of the tunnel look like, if there even is a light at the end? I don't have a clear answer of why someone wants to live despite everything you've ever known and love about life itself is all gone. Because everyone is different, and I'm fortunate enough sitting comfortably in my own home watching stupid cat videos. I can't even imagine the lives of the people affected by war. But here I am, questioning my very existence if shit broke out where I live. If the people with barely anything 100 years ago can do it, why can't we?
የተፈጠረው ያው ልጆች አልቀዋል። ቤተሰቡ ያው ልጆቼ በሙሉ አባቴ ወንድሞቼ በሙሉ አልቀዋል። ያው አራት ሬሳ አንድ ስርፋ ላይ ታቅፌ አድሬያለሁ። ሌላ ምንም የማደርገው ነገር የለም። በፈቃደኝነቱ ቁዝሬ ነኝ አለበት ተከትዬ እንድሞት ነበር ብዬ ይሄን ድምጤን አስተላልፌ ሄድኩኝ። እኔ ህይወቴ ቁዝሬ ነኝ እዛው ሄጄ እንድሞት ነው ያልኩት። አቋሜ ምን ይሰራል?